going on? It's Sheev the Wise. How's everybody doing? We got some awesome Star Wars updates to get through today and to let you guys in on what's going on in the world of Star Wars. I hope you guys are all having an excellent day, and I hope the Force is with you as always. But we gotta get into the lair and talk about this news, so let's get it. What's up, guys? It is Sheev the Wise. I am very happy to be back and talking about some Star Wars news with you guys today, as it's been a little bit since I streamed, but in that time we've got a lot of things to talk about actually, and I'm excited to go over some of it with you guys today. So first order of business is some of this Book of Boba stuff that we've been hearing about lately, and these are coming from all sorts of sources. You know, Star Wars Newsnet released a article on the Kenobi show a couple weeks ago revealing what we could potentially see Darth Vader within those Bacta tanks that they've revealed. And then they released another article on what we could eventually see in the Book of Boba this December. And I'm going to pull it up before I get into the chat. And let's go over it real quick. Let's talk about this news. Whoops, hold up. Alright, so this is new bits on Boba Fett's movie and armor in the Book of Boba by Miguel Fernandez over at StarWarsNewsNet.com. So, the Mandalorian spin-off series, The Book of Boba Fett, wrapped production this spring, and to this point, details about the new series have been kept under wraps. We've been able to find some interesting bits about the show that might keep the conversation going while we wait for more official information to come out. And they go on here to say that they did a report on Hayden Christensen's return as Darth Vader, which we were just talking about. Let me turn down that music a little bit. And basically, them talking about that Obi-Wan Kenobi news got them in a little bit of trouble actually, as it caused a little bit of problems with some of the people that are probably working within it. They talk about here how unfortunately the art they posted caused a lot of problems and concerns for some people, and we were asked to hold off on their next report, but for now they still wanted to share some other interesting bits that we've learned about the Book of Boba to quench our thirst in a way, you know. So, you know, this is the part where we give you a minor spoiler warning, as this is just minor plot details potentially on what we could see within the Book of Boba. And they talk about how we could potentially see a full armor change, and how that it seems a little bit unexpected considering Boba Fett's efforts to fix his dad's armor, or you know, the armor that he got back in the Mandalorian show. And I do find that very interesting. You know, I don't think Boba would want to do that, and from more updates that we've gotten today, that armor news might be a little bit out of proportion in a way, or they make it a bigger deal in this article than it really is. But they had talked about how it's possible it was to show a difference between the past and the present, as flashbacks are expected. And I do see how that could be, you know, different armor in a way. You know, they gotta have the older armor that we see in this picture below before he repainted it, or did, you know, the matte paint cover, reforged it as the helmet is called within the Black Series line. It's really interesting though. They also talk about how Tamora Morrison revealed the series would include flashbacks, of course, between Empire Strikes Back and The Mandalorian, and it is somewhat of a Mandalorian season 2.5, as we know. Of course, you know, we've also been hearing Robert Rodriguez has been hyping it up, talking about how the show will be all killer, no filler. We've had a hella ton of rumors in terms of who we could potentially see as a cameo character in this show. I think it's pretty wild as to what we will probably see, and at some point I will be dropping a video on the top 10 things we can expect or predict to see in the Book of Boba Fett. And of course, there are some pretty great stuff that we're going to be covering in that video. So keep your eyes out for that as we approach closer to the Book of Boba Fett. But that doesn't come out until December. I think it also talked about in here how they did want to basically emphasize, I think in this report, maybe it was a different report. Here it is though. We've learned that in the series, Boba Fett is in revenge mode. He will be going after everyone who did him wrong in the past, and he will also be looking for other bounty hunters, and even more, he will be doing it with a new look to his armor, as they say, and continue to talk about the armor. So yeah, they basically revealed that the Book of Boba is going to be as what we speculated here on Vader's lair, that it will probably be somewhat of a hit list for him, and he will be in revenge mode, as this article says, and probably going after many people that have done him wrong. I'm excited to see that, and that is what we were predicting to see, so it is nice to see an article somewhat confirming it in a way. And of course we won't fully know until the show drops, but it does seem that this show is going to emphasize the people that have done Boba wrong in the past, and in terms of him going to kill Bib Fortuna at the end of The Mandalorian, it definitely makes sense that that is where this show could potentially be going. I'm excited for it, man. I think we will see characters that have done him wrong in the past, like Cad Bane potentially. Heck, we could even see Mace Windu. Who really knows? But I would love to see those two characters in particular, as I don't feel many other characters have a rivalry with him quite like the two of them do. Maybe Han Solo too, but I don't know if we'll see Han in it. It would be interesting if we did. What do you guys think though? How's everybody doing today? Let's head back into the lair and talk about this for a little bit. I know it's a little bit older news by now, but I'm down to talk about it with you guys. Alright, let's pull up the chat. How's everyone doing tonight? It's good to see you, Nikki. Thanks for stopping by. Tim, my guy, it is good to see you as always. Thanks for being here and helping out as a moderator like you always do. And thank you, Mike Porter, for the compliment. You're an OG, my guy. Much love to you, Mike Porter. What's up, Gavin Cooley and Darth Chaos? How you guys doing? Yes, Vader. Yes. Okay, we'll get into that in a minute as well. Since we're on the topic of Book of Boba Fett, I want to see what you guys think about the potential armor change that they talk about, and the fact that Boba is likely doing a hit list. I want to know what your guys' thoughts are on that. And then real quick, while you guys are typing in the chat, I do want to talk about another report that Star Wars Meg, our good friend of the channel, had talked about. And that is that we could potentially see Darth Vader and even Jabba the Hutt in some of these flashbacks that we're going to have in the Book of Boba. And that to me would be amazing to see, and it would make a lot of sense in terms of the fact that they're bringing Hayden back for the Obi-Wan series that will probably come out just a little bit after this Darth Vader, or after this Book of Boba Fett series. So within a certain time period we're going to get both of these shows, and it's likely that from what we know, the Book of Boba Fett had just finished filming, and then Kenobi started production and started going into filming as well. So it's possible in that time period Tamora maybe crossed over for both of them, and maybe Hayden did as well, maybe even Ewan. I kind of doubt that Ewan would have showed up for the Book of Boba, but who knows, man. They could have had him in as an extra or something. They love to do stuff like that over at Lucasfilm and Star Wars. So I would love to see Darth Vader and some of those other bounty hunters from The Empire Strikes Back, in which Darth Vader had hired them all. And I would love to see Vader again. I'd love to see Han and Carbonite, get some of those Empire Strikes Back feels in these flashbacks that we are getting. It would be awesome to me, and I would love to see it. What do you guys think, though? New armor. Ooh, new armor, cool. Getting revenge, cool. More Vader, priceless. Oh yes, Mike. Mike Phase 4 or Bust Porter. Oh yes. Nice name, by the way. That's a good one. Gavin Cooley says, awesome. Sounds like Space John Wick. They better go after Boba's space dog. Boba's space dog? The slave one? Dawn says, today's hot topic, Mark III the armor? Is that M3 the armor? Oh, yes, that is right. There was rumors that the armor could show up in The Mandalorian season 3, or at least someone had asked the actress if she was going to show up. And we've missed a lot of Star Wars news in this past week, to be honest. I didn't feel like there was a lot, but there is. Someone asked the armor actress if she was going to be in season 3, and she basically said that she can't confirm nor deny. And that to us is somewhat of a confirmation in a way. As with NDAs and non-disclosure agreements, like, the actresses and actors cannot reveal what they're in, what their part is. They're just not allowed to talk about it. So someone that says that they're not allowed to talk about it generally means that she's probably going to be in season 3. I believe someone even asked her if there would be repercussions, or like a can't think of the word, if there would be consequences for what Din Djarin did taking off his helmet in season 2. And I think there very well could be, and I think the actress even said that there could be as well for Din. And that would make sense, as we see back in season 1, Din and the armor are kind of talking, and we have the rumored Jon Favreau Mandalorian character, Mandalorian character, where he's dressed up as a Mandalorian. Where they kind of get into a scuffle, and basically she asks, well, have you ever taken your helmet off? And he says no. She's like, well, this is the way, So I think there definitely could be consequences to Din taking off the helmet, and I do think at some point in season 3, Din will likely take that leadership of Mandalore role now that he has the Darksaber, and I think there will be some interesting tie-ins with that as well. Gavin Cooley says, Bosk and Boba team up for the win. I don't know about that, man. I don't know about that. I think Bosk is probably on the list. He's probably on the list, if anything. Hello there, Yoda's meme den. How are you, my friend? My little green friend. Hope you're doing well, Yoda. Mike Phase 4 or Bust Porter says, I saw Shang-Chi for the 3rd time. This time in 4D. It jerked me around, but it was fun. Phrasing, first of all, Mike Phase 4 or Bust Porter. That's phrasing as well. Yeah, dude, I saw Shang-Chi as well. It was lit. Shang-Chi is lit. If you haven't seen Shang-Chi, go check it out. It's worth it. It's worth it. I think it was pretty cool. Definitely a very unique Marvel movie, and I definitely liked it a lot. It was cool. Reefer Man Reviews says, I would love some Easter eggs tying back to the current War of the Bounty Hunters arc and Book of Boba Fett. Yes, dude. Oh my goodness. Okay, Reefer Man. So, I will tell you guys right now, there's been some slight delays, obviously, with the comic book. Otherwise, it would be out by now. And I'm going to get to work on that, because I definitely want to put out this comic book run that I'm doing for the book, for the War of the Bounty Hunters, featuring Boba, obviously. I want to get this out before the Book of Boba, as I think it could potentially have some pretty big tie-ins into what we see and what's really going on within it. A lot of times the books don't have super significant consequences to what's going on in the movies or things, as not as many people will read books or comics as see the movies or shows. But I definitely think the Book of Boba is going to give us some tie-ins, kind of like we had with Cobb Vanth tying in from the books into the Mandalorian. I think it's very possible we could see something going on with the War of the Bounty Hunters and Reefer Man. I want it to. I definitely want it. If we saw Kira in particular, that would be fantastic to me. I feel like Kira could be on his list for sure. Star Wars Santa. Don't worry about it, man. Thank you for stopping by. Had to mention Din Djarin's new ship, the Fire Spray. Yes, Star Wars Santa and I have a long-running joke and bet going on now where Cad Bane and Boba Fett will potentially meet again, and I say Boba Fett will kill Cad Bane, and Star Wars Santa says Cad Bane will either survive or not partake in any death by the hands of Boba Fett. So basically, if anyone else kills Cad Bane, I lose the bet. If Cad Bane dies by the hands of Boba Fett, I win. And the loser has to put the other's background up for an entire week. So I would be in Santa's Santa's workshop for an entire week, and Santa would be in the lair for a week. I definitely think with the rumors we have of Cad Bane potentially being in the Book of Boba Fett, it's definitely going to be Santa with the lair in the background for an entire week. I don't know about you guys, but I think it's going to happen. Boba Fett is going to kill Cad Bane for sure. Let's go. 100%. 100%. 4D is like a simulator, says Mike Phase 4 or Bus Porter. It moved around quite a bit. The last scene, I thought I was going to be thrown out of my seat. Boba can't kill her, though. No, hey, Boba doesn't have to kill Kira. Relax. Just Cad Bane and Mace. Good to see you, by the way. If you guys haven't checked out Star Wars Santa's channel, he does some awesome Star Wars content. I freaking love Star Wars Santa. He's a great friend of the channel, along with Star Wars Meg, and the two of them do awesome weekly news breakdowns every Friday. So definitely check out Star Wars Santa's channel. I love that dude. He does some awesome content. Novak CT9906 says, so if you lose, you have to dress up as an elf for torture? I guess I will. I have to find an elf suit first, but I don't think I'm going to lose. Sheev never loses. Don't you know I won both sides of the Clone War? Come on. The only time I ever lose is when I'm shooting lightning back to myself. And even then I win. Trust me. I definitely won when Mace Windu did it to me, but when Rey did it to me, I think I may have won that too, but we'll get into that another day. Star Wars Santa rocks, says Darthcast. Heck yeah, he does. What the heck? Star Wars Santa is an absolute boss. I love that man. Alright. One other thing I want to cover, and then I will talk about one thing after that as well, but this is an article from the Best Bin Bulletin from today, and I do want to cover it. So let's get into it. Alright, exclusive Obi-Wan Kenobi series filmed scenes at a college swimming pool, plus details on a Darth Vader scene. Oh yeah! Let's get it. So this is by the Best Bin Bulletin, and Alright, so it says, almost 2 weeks ago, I was informed by some trusted sources that the Obi-Wan Kenobi series would be filming some important scenes at the East Los Angeles College swimming pool last week. Some trusted friends of mine ventured to the location on various occasions and confirmed what my sources had told me, and even sent images confirming that the production was in fact there. As you can see from the images below, JT stands for Joshua Tree, the production name of Kenobi, just like Andor was Pilgrim and The Mandalorian was Huckleberry, as we know. So here it is, to set JT. Of course, that's pretty sick. That is pretty cool. Some more pictures over at the college. That's pretty cool stuff to see. Campus closed 11 p.m. to 5 a.m. Crew parking at JT. Joshua Tree. Oh yeah, that's pretty cool. So it says emergency medical technicians were spotted on the set as I was told multiple blue screens were being set up in and around the pools inside of the college, with dry ice supposedly being used. We know that a water planet will feature in the series, as concept art featuring a water planet with armed soldiers firing at a sea creature with many arms was shown exclusively to investors during Disney's Investor Day presentation in December, along with interviews with Ewan McGregor and Deborah Chow, which featured multiple pieces of concept art. There's also one other thing I was told, that just before the production moved to the college film scenes with the swimming pool, a scene was filmed with Darth Vader entering a forest using the volume, and sources were saying it was reminiscent of Dagobah. Now I'm not saying it is or isn't Dagobah, just that it was reminiscent of it, so please don't spread around that Dagobah was in the series. I'm not saying that, and nor are my sources. I was told that the scene felt very tense, almost like Vader was stepping in ready for confrontation. I wonder if the forest scene is related to the pool scenes that were filmed last week. It is a random factoid, but when filming The Empire Strikes Back, the crew filmed a scene featuring the Dragon Snake and George Lucas's personal pool. That's pretty cool. I believe Kenobi has mostly shot in order or as close to it as possible. So with these shots being the last of filming, you'd imagine these scenes may take place later in the series. Obi-Wan Kenobi finally wrapped late last week, my sources have told me. So now we patiently wait until we see our glorious Space Jesus on screens next year. Oh yeah, definitely. I cannot wait to see Space Jesus, aka Obi-Wan Kenobi, in his show next year. It's gonna be awesome. Let's head back in the lair and talk about it. So what do you guys think of that? I think it's pretty interesting that they're shooting some shots at a college swimming pool of all places. And, you know, it does seem interesting, as it's very easy for people to clearly get pictures and figure it out, as JT is Joshua Tree and what the production is under. So it's pretty interesting that they would do it at a college like that to me. And maybe it is scenes of Dagobah, as there have been rumors lately that we could potentially have a Yoda tie-in to the Kenobi series, of course, as we do know Yoda and Obi-Wan kept in contact through the Force in a way. At least in canon, that is what is believed, as well as Yoda telling him a way to contact Qui-Gon. So it's very, very possible that we could get some scenes of Yoda at Dagobah, or maybe even Obi-Wan going to Dagobah, or something along that lines. Maybe it has something to do with Darth Vader and him potentially going to Dagobah, or being in those bacta tanks, as we have, you know, seen rumors of. But I'm interested what they're actually going to be using those swimming pools for, and I'm curious what you guys are thinking, so let me know down in the comments below. Darth Chaos says, will we get a teaser in November? Darth Chaos, from what I believe at this current moment, I believe Josh Lucas over at the Den of Nerds said that we could get a trailer within the next month or two, but I do personally think we will likely not get it until November, when there is somewhat of a Disney Plus showcase day where they're going to apparently reveal a lot of what the future of Star Wars could potentially be, from what I've heard. So I think it is likely, if we don't get a teaser anytime soon, that it will be in November. I think November 12th is when we will be getting that Disney Plus day in a way. So keep your eyes open November 12th for that. Yeah, Nikki, Santa always steals the shine, right? Glad you're here though, Nikki. Thanks for stopping by. Nikki is a great friend of the show as well. She's hilarious over in Star Wars Santa's chats, and she does a great mod work for him. So big shout out to Nikki. Well, yeah. So then Gavin Cooley says, so I was wondering, rather Red Force Lightning was canon because we saw it in Legends, but not really in canon. But apparently, if it is because the son from Mortis. Yeah, I do remember the son from Mortis using it. It's probably only accessible to extremely powerful Force users like the son, if it is canon. And you know, the son using it makes it canon already, so it is canon in my opinion, but it probably would vary. You should ask Pablo Hidalgo on Twitter. He's been very open to fans lately. I know there's been some beef within the fandom and Pablo at points, but Pablo seems like an okay dude overall. Just gonna be straight up. Definitely doesn't make the best decisions all the time, but he seems like a good dude. No human ever makes all the right decisions, I'll tell you that much. Yikes. Nikki is a goat. Oh my god. Jesus, you almost ruined it. That was pretty funny, Nikki. 15 days to vision, says Don. Dude. Oh my god. I cannot wait. I'm hyped for Visions, I'll tell you that much. I'm definitely excited for it, and we're probably going to do some more content on Visions as we approach it within the next 2 weeks. And oh yeah, dude. 15 days, baby. Let's go. I cannot wait. We're definitely going to be covering it when it comes out. I think we're going to be doing watch parties. From what we've heard in the rumorville lately, the Star Wars Visions show is under exclusives or extras and like more bases. So it's basically under the extras section of Star Wars. Of course, proving to us that it is not canon, and it's, the same kind of thing as the Tartakovsky, Clone Wars series. So it will be somewhat along those lines and in that section of Disney Plus. But I'm so excited for it. I think they are going to be 15 to 30 minute episodes each, maybe even shorter than that. I'm excited to go through them. We're definitely going to be doing a watch party for all of them the night they release, no matter how long they are. I'm sure some of them might be 30 minutes, 45 maybe, but I hope at least one or two of them is longer, because I'm excited to get as much of this anime Star Wars as I can get. Visions will be lit, says Darth Chaos, and oh yes it will be. Hey Stormy, how's it going? What up, my dude? Will Omega come? First of all, Mr. Ratface, I think that's how you say that. Phrasing. And Omega in Book of Boba, it's possible, but from what I've heard, not likely. I really do hope that we do get Omega. Maybe if there is a season 2 of the Book of Boba Fett, that is when we will get Omega in live action. But I feel like they are going to develop her character more in the Bad Batch, and we're probably getting another 2 or 3 seasons of the Bad Batch, in my opinion. Might be less than that if the second season doesn't do good. But I'm hoping for at least 4 or 5 total seasons of the Bad Batch, and I think they're going to flesh out her character a lot more in that show and then bring her into live action maybe, or maybe just have her stay in animation altogether. Omega, what? Pause. Exactly. Y'all are wildin'. Darth Chaos says Visions will be late. Oh yeah, that's right. Gavin Cooley says the Clone Wars series is fire. Best General Grievous. Oh, the Tartakovsky? Heck yeah. I agree. I loved it. Phrasing. What if better than Visions? You know what, Stormy? You might be right, but that's fine with me. Visions is what it is. It's not a canon piece of material like What If is, and it wasn't meant to be, I think. So if you're gonna put What If against Clone Wars or Rebels, you got another thing coming, buddy. You're definitely not. How are you, Stormy, by the way? It's good to have you here. It's good to have you, my guy. Yes, yeah, for sure, Tim. But I think he might be right, just on the fact that What If is canon. But who knows? All right, one last thing I did want to talk about with you guys, and then I'll definitely, get back into the chat. And it's going to be somewhat brief, so bear with me here. But Josh over at the Den of Nerds, and with the Star Wars Theory podcast, Nerd Theory, has come out with a rumor saying that Disney and Lucasfilm and, Star Wars are producing, or in the very early works, basically, of an episode 10, 11, and 12. I didn't really fully get into the podcast that he did with Star Wars Theory the other day over on the Nerd Theory podcast, but I did listen to his video over at the Den of Nerds. I gotta say, this is pretty interesting stuff, and it might be a little bit of a reach. Personally, I'm open to an episodes 10, 11, and 12. I don't think every fan would be, especially if it's heavily involving characters like Rey, Finn, and Poe. I personally enjoy those characters and wish that they could have been done better, maybe, in my opinion. But they are what they are, and if we get an episode 10, 11, and 12, it could flesh their characters out more. Now, Josh also confirmed that at least he was confirming from some of the sources that he has, that John Boyega Finn show that we've been hearing could be on Disney Plus is in fact going to happen, and that will be somewhat of the start of this episode 10, 11, 12 like testing, I guess you could say. It's dipping their feet back in the water of the sequels to continue these movies. And George Lucas at one point had said that these movies, he was planning on doing 12 of these movies, and then he cut it down to 9. And Josh Lucas over at the Den of Nerds thinks that they could potentially have George work on some of it in a way, and conclude the story the way that he originally wanted to, with 12 movies instead of the 9 that he had switched it to. So what do you guys think of this? Do you think we could get an episode 10, 11, or 12? I think it's possible. And in a way, I want it with a different set of trilogy characters, as the prequels, sequels, and original trilogy all had their own characters to define them, basically. And although obviously characters tie in through all of them, I would love the episode 10, 11, and 12 to follow new characters that maybe Rey, Poe, and Finn are passing the mantle down to, in a way. And for me, I could get behind that more so than I could a 10, 11, and 12 about the same characters from 7, 8, and 9. I feel like, in a way, those characters, had their chance to have a full story. And in my opinion, the sequels are the story that they are, but it is a 2-year span of time. I do think a show would better fit characters like Finn and Poe. We've already seen Poe in the Resistance show, which not a lot of fans are big fans of either. But it is interesting to see that we could potentially get this Finn show on Disney Plus, and eventually in episodes 10, 11, and 12. What about Broom Boy, says Mike Phase 4 or Bust Porter. So Mike Phase 4 Bust. Mike, I've heard rumors that that Rian Johnson trilogy is still eventually going to be made when less of the fandom is divided, which I don't know if that'll ever happen. But I have heard rumors, deep rumors, that trilogy is still possible. And I think if Rian Johnson had a trilogy, it'd probably be about that Broom Boy character, as that would be awesome, honestly a cool thing to see. And although I'm not a big fan of The Last Jedi, I think it would be cool to see Rian Johnson tell his own Star Wars story, see what he does with it when he's not touching the sacred original trilogy characters that we all love since the 1970s. Stormy says, I hope we get John Boyega as either Blue Marvel or Reed Richards in the MCU. Dude, Stormy, I'm behind it. Me too. John Boyega is a pretty solid actor, and I would love to see him in the MCU, especially as Blue Marvel or Reed Richards. That would be incredible. I know a lot of people are behind that with Franklin, or sorry, not Franklin. Do you want him as Reed Richards and not Franklin? Stormy, I think he would be a better Franklin, maybe, but maybe I'm reaching, and maybe he'll be too old to be Franklin at that point. But I don't know about Reed Richards. I think he'd be better Blue Marvel than Reed Richards, and that's just my opinion, though. Mr. Ratface says, do you think the unfinished shootout between Cad Bane and Boba will come to any of the new shows? Matt, Mr. Ratface, 100%. I've been on this for a long time, ever since, basically the start of the Bad Batch. I've wanted to see this fully realized, and we do have rumors, potential spoiler warning real quick, that Cad Bane could be in the Book of Boba Fett. Now, who would play Cad Bane? We don't really know yet, and I have some speculations that I've talked about in previous live streams as to who could do it. But, we have heard there will be flashbacks in the Book of Boba, and I think it's possible we could see that arc, or, that shootout between the two of them take place in a flashback, and then again in the actual Book of Boba Fett timeline. Maybe we'll just get the flashback, or maybe we'll just get a rematch in the Book of Boba Fett. But I think at some point we will get one or the other, if not both. I would love to see it too. I'm so for it. And I do think if they fight again, Boba will probably kill Cad. Darth Chaos says, I've been thinking about this. If the Petty movie is set in the sequel era, I can see them jumping off that for a trilogy. Not saying I'm a fan, but I think it's definitely possible. Money equals yes. Oof, fair enough, man. Fair enough. Gavin Cooley says Ben Solo was the only interesting sequel character, and they killed him. So Gavin Cooley, on that note, Josh from the Den of Nerds did say that they could potentially be heavily involving Ben Solo, which I don't know how they would do if he's dead. He did become one with the Force, it seemed, or potentially a Force ghost, but I don't know, man. it would be interesting to see. It would definitely be interesting. Gavin Cooley also says the new trilogy should be about Meeber Gaskin. Dude, oh my god, yes. Please, give me some Meeber Gaskin. Give him his own trilogy. That dude's a war hero for sure. I love me some Meeber Gaskin. I could get behind that, man. No Ben Solo, please. Hey, come on. Adam Driver's a cool dude. I like the Ben Solo character. He's probably one of the best things about the I like Ben Solo. So I actually I thought it was funny that Ben Solo could save the one he loved and Anakin couldn't. Pretty interesting. It rhymes. It's poetry. It rhymes, you know. Mike Phase 4 or Bus Porter says, here's a hot take of the sequel trilogy. I enjoyed Rise of Skywalker the most. It has the most problems of the three, but to me it seems like the characters were together more like a gang. Also, Babu Frick. Dude, awesome. I love it, Mike Porter. Myself, I think my favorite of the sequel trilogy is The Force Awakens. That show really brought Star Wars back for me in a way, or that movie. You know, when it came out, there was a lot of hype behind it. A lot of people saw it. Obviously, it's one of, if not the biggest selling Star Wars movie ever. I like The Force Awakens a lot. I still like the, you know, feeling it gives me when I watch it, even now. And I love what it set up for the sequel trilogy, even if I don't love the way that the sequel trilogy turned out. I do actually like The Rise of Skywalker more than The Last Jedi, and there are elements of it that I do like a lot. I think there's elements in each of the sequel movies that I can pull out and say that I enjoyed for sure. I don't know if that's the hottest of takes, but I definitely do think a lot of people either like The Force Awakens or The Rise of Skywalker, or The Last Jedi more than The Rise of Skywalker. A lot of people think The Rise of Skywalker was an abomination of a movie. I do think it gets a lot of hate though, and I'm happy you enjoy it, Mike Porter. It is a fun movie, I'll tell you that much. Don says, please tell me that's not the dude that got Gregor killed the first time. Don, that is Meeber Gaskin is exactly that dude, and he's an OG legend. He's a legend around these parts, that Meeber Gaskin. Mr. Ratface says, I know they'll never do it, but what would you think about an FN 2187 movie/show showing the beginnings of the First Order and how they obtained and trained their stormtroopers? So, Mr. Ratface, from the rumors we've heard about an FN 2187 Finn show, there actually have been rumors that show will happen, and there has been rumors within it that we could potentially see the flashbacks to the forming of the First Order. You know, something that I've heard a rumor about in terms of all these rumors is that Star Wars is very open to doing more flashbacks, and I do think that is possible. We could see them doing flashbacks in the Ahsoka show, the Kenobi show, obviously this Book of Boba Fett show. Tamora Morrison himself has already confirmed there will be flashbacks, so it'll be interesting to see all these flashbacks now in Star Wars. We even got some in The Last Jedi when Luke had that flashbacks to him and Ben Solo, and then Ben Solo had the same flashbacks from his perspective. So it seems very much so as in Star Wars is very open to doing more flashbacks, and I'm open to it as well. But yeah, I do think there could be flashbacks in a potential Finn show showing the beginnings of the First Order and, you know, how they abducted or took these children in to be soldiers of their armies. Darth Chaos says, same, Force Awakens was the best of the three. I didn't mind it. I had issues with it. Fair enough. Gavin Cooley says, how dare you? Meeber Gaskin is the unsung hero of Star Wars. He's definitely the unsung hero of Star Wars and the Clone Wars and of my heart. I'll tell you that much. Force Awakens was too reminiscent of the original trilogy. It was like a redo. Also, The Last Jedi squandered Luke Skywalker. To me, says Mike Porter. Mike Porter, It's hilarious you say that. My biggest issues with The Last Jedi don't even lie fully within what they did to Luke Skywalker. And for me, the fact that Force Awakens felt reminiscent of the original trilogy brought my love for Star Wars back to me in a way. You know, I remember being a young kid going to see Revenge of the Sith in theaters when I was like 5 or 6 years old. And that was one of the first movies I remember seeing. I remember after I watched it, my dad or my brother had told me that was it. No more Star Wars movies. That was the last one. And I remember thinking in the car, I wasn't fully like, you know, tearing up, but I was sad, and I was thinking in the car, I hope George Lucas's kids one day or somebody, you know, does more Star Wars movies. And when Disney bought Star Wars, I was excited to just get more Star Wars content in the future and in my life. So, you know, even though The Force Awakens felt reminiscent of the original trilogy, almost like a redo, as you say, to me, it had the vibes and feels of Star Wars. So going to see it in theaters, I couldn't have been happier as a 13, 14-year-old, however old I was. Actually, I was like 16, I think. I don't know. I was like 15, 16 years old when that movie came out. I don't remember exactly when it came out now. But I just freaking loved having a new Star Wars movie to see in theaters, and that it felt like Star Wars, if you catch my drift. I get you, though. I get where you're coming from. Gavin Cooley says, you ever wonder what the crossguard saber is made for? Like, what's the point of having it over a regular saber? My biggest issue with The Last Jedi is that it exists, says Gavin Cooley. We do see the crossguard used to, like, burn shoulders or whatever. We also see it kind of used to deflect sabers and different things, but I totally agree with you, because you would think that, like, the way it is, like, there's a little bit of section like this thick and then the saber comes out. Like, couldn't they just cut that part off? I'm like, right? Like, I don't know. It's weird. I don't know, man. Star Wars doesn't always have to make sense. Mr. Ratface says, Dooku and Qui-Gon movie, ? That would be cool, but I don't know how they would exactly do that with both the original actors, one being dead, Christopher Lee, and the other being very old now. I guess they could find younger actors to do it, and many people would get behind that, like they did it for Han Solo. It would be cool to see, you know. I feel like there's definitely some stories to explore there. That's the cool thing about Star Wars. There's like an infinite number of stories you can really tell, and you can always create new ones. So I'm with it. She quote, I hope George Lucas's kid ... Josh has entered the chat. What up, Josh Lucas? That's pretty funny. No, for real though, at like 5 or 6 years old, I was like, I hope George Lucas's kids take it over or something one day. And I wanted more Star Wars. And then of course we had the Clone Wars, and that's part of why Clone Wars is so special to me, is I never thought we would get more Star Wars in general, let alone a whole 8-season show. Gavin Cooley says, oh yeah, your biggest issue is Last Jedi's that exist. Prequels, says Don Clatterman. That is a great thing to say, Don. You know, there was a debate I had over at Star Wars Meg's Discord server, I think, about what is a prequel technically, because in my opinion, everything that comes before the original trilogy is a prequel. Everything that comes after the original trilogy is a sequel. What do you guys think? Let me know down in the chat, because I'm actually super curious about this. Is everything that comes before the sequels a prequel, and is everything that comes, or everything before the original trilogy a sequel and is a prequel, and is everything after the original trilogy a sequel? I'm gonna do a poll. I'm just doing a poll. Alright, poll is up. Is everything before the original trilogy a prequel? That would include Star Wars Rebels, obviously the prequel trilogy, Star Wars The Clone Wars, the Dooku Jedi Lost novel, all the like prequel novels, everything that comes before the original trilogy a prequel. Let me know. Yes, so far. Alright, I'm with it. Technically yes, but no, says Dark Chaos. Hey yo, what up, Kylie? How are you doing? Welcome back in, Kylie. It's been a little bit. Thanks for coming by. I know we haven't streamed in a little bit, but much love to you. Darth Chaos, is the High Republic not a pre-prequel? The High Republic is definitely a pre-prequel, and so will the Acolyte series. The Acolyte series is going to be a pre-prequel as well. All of it. Yes. What up, Big Stevie? Welcome into the chat, my guy. I definitely agree. I think all of it before the original trilogy is a prequel, and everything after. Does that mean that The Mandalorian is a sequel? We love the sequels, guys. We love The Mandalorian. Oh no! Cancel Sheev. He loves the sequels. Anything in BBY is. Alright, Novak. I think that's a good way to put it. Everything before episode 4 is a prequel, and everything after episode 4 is a sequel. Huh. Kyle Carter, I think you're right. Because episode 4 was the original, but I mean, I don't know. That's why I said no. Ahsoka too. Ahsoka will be, oh god, Ahsoka will be a sequel. Oh god, we love the sequels. Oh shoot. Hey, Kenobi's a prequel. You know it. That's why Kenobi's gonna be good. The Book of Boba Fett is a sequel too. The Bad Batch is a prequel. Mando is a prequel to the sequels. Ah, I see what you did there, Novak. That's a good one. That's a good one. Kylie says, did you talk about the new Lego Star Wars Halloween special trailer yet? Kylie, I haven't. And I haven't even seen it yet. I've been so busy. When it gets around football season, Sheev is very focused in on that. But I'm happy to be back doing my Star Wars content. I'm definitely going to check out that that trailer for the Halloween special Star Wars Lego episode or movie or whatever it is. I'm down to check it out. I heard it is very Finn or Poe oriented. I'm interested to check it out. I'll probably talk about it on a stream tomorrow or later in the week. I'll definitely check it out though. We aren't ready for the awesomeness that will be in Kenobi. Big Stevie, we're not. We're not. It's going to melt our faces right off of our bones. It's going to be too epic for life. I'll tell you that much. I'm so old. I'm a prequel, says Mike Face for Busboard. You're a prequel to Sheev's era, I'll tell you that much. Gavin Cooley says, technically they're all prequels to the sequels. I like where your head's at. I like where your head's at there. What's up, X-Wing? Let me know. Hey, X-Wing, let me know what you think. Is everything before the original trilogy a prequel? I think it is. And that means that Mandalorian's a sequel, but it's still a prequel to the sequels. You guys are pretty funny. I'm gonna lose my ship when I witness Kenobi. Relo 2 times. What's good with you? What's good with you, my guy? And I'm gonna do it too. I'm gonna lose my ship for sure. What's your football team? Mine is the Minnesota Vikings. I used to like the Minnesota Vikings a lot when Adrian Peterson played there. I'm a Panther fan, sadly. It's a rough life. What's up, Jason Strope? How's it going? Mando is original trilogy. Mando is 9 years after the original trilogy, actually. So not quite. It's definitely a sequel, actually, to the original trilogy, but it's still a prequel to the sequels, okay? It's still a prequel. There's a description of a scene from Kenobi where he was entering a forest using the volume, says Big Stevie, where Vader was entering. So yes, Big Stevie, we actually just went over that exclusive and how they were shooting last week at a college swimming pool. So that is likely where it was at. It's probably Dagobah. We'll see though. We'll see what it ends up being. And from what we've heard, they are filming chronologically for the most part. So it's likely that scene will take place towards the end of the show, or maybe in a post-credits scene or something. I'm hyped for it though. I definitely think it'll be cool, and I can't wait to find out what they're actually using that swimming pool for. I'm a college football fan, says Mike Porter. Dude, that's all good. College football's lit too. I love college prospects, so I'm big into finding the next like big player. You know, I'm good at that. That's why I play fantasy football. I love the NFL also, for sure. Sometimes the drama is more. You guys are just talking about college football now. The Big Stevie W says it would make sense if that is the battle that creates the dark side tree where Luke saw his vision. Huh. That's interesting. That could definitely make sense. I like where your head's at, Big Stevie. I like that. What up? What's up, Proxy? How you doing, my guy? Bring up trend trailer live reaction. I won't do it right now, Novak. I'll see if I can do it, but we've been having issues bringing the audio up on the live stream, so I'll see if I can figure that out, and maybe in the next day or two when we do another live stream, I can try to do a live reaction to the Lego Star Wars Halloween special trailer. X-Wing says they're saying they're gonna change Boba's armor for the show. I wonder if we'll see the armor again for that. X-Wing, that is incredible thought. It's possible. I don't know if we will see the armor in the Book of Boba Fett, but I do think we will see her in the Mandalorian season 3, and I like where your head's at in terms of him, you know, getting his armor, getting a new armor from her. But from what we've heard from Star Wars Meg today, it was more likely that him having a new armor was somewhat blown out of proportion, and it will be slight changes. And honestly, my head instantly goes to the two different armors between the Empire Strikes Back and now with the matte paint reforging of the armor in a way. We do know actually that the Boba Fett helmet that was sold within the Black Series line is titled Boba's Reforged Armor Helmet or something along those lines. So it will be interesting to see maybe if he did get it reforged by the armor or repainted or something. Because, you know, we didn't really see that in The Mandalorian. We just see him with the armor all damaged and battered up as we're used to, even more so. And then it has the new fresh coat of paint and new look to it. So I'm sure, you know, the difference between armor that we could potentially see in the Book of Boba is likely the matte armor, and then in flashbacks, how the armor used to look in The Empire Strikes Back. Kylie says off topic, but so excited for the new episode of What If. I think it's going to be lit too. You know, I think this is the zombie episode, if I'm not mistaken. I think it'll be cool. I really enjoyed last week's with Doctor Strange. I thought it was pretty mind-boggling in a way. You know what I'm saying? Go Birds, Cowboys suck. Big Stevie, yo, I'm with it, but I need Dak Prescott and Amari Cooper to do good this season because I have them in my main league. Gavin Cooley says, Sheep, who's going to be the best rookie quarterback? Mac Jones, Zach Wilson, Trevor Lawrence, or Justin Fields? None of the above. Trey Lance. Of the people you named, honestly, I think people are sleeping on Zach Wilson. Trevor Lawrence is the obvious answer. But I think Justin Fields and Trey Lance might have a big year. I'm big into fantasy football. I had a fantasy, well, it wasn't a fantasy, it was a sports podcast that I created with my brother. We might bring it back at some point, but right now I'm really trying to focus on starting my Star Wars channel, although this is the perfect time to get back into that fantasy sports channel. We should probably do something with it, but we'll see what happens. I give some pretty good advice. I study way too much for fantasy football. I'm way too into it. Dawn says there was a deleted scene from Mando 2 where Boba was on Navarro with Greef Karga. Yes, we do have rumors, or have seen footages or pictures of that. I think it's very interesting what it could tie into. Fennec Shand, I believe, was in those pictures as well. Mr. Ratface says, is everyone under the assumption that The Mandalorian is the origin story for the next Mandalore, or is that just me? Mr. Ratface, me as well. I'm definitely under that assumption. I hope so. Trey Lance? Okay then, this guy, am I right? What you talking about, Gavin? I think Trey Lance has a really good shot of being one of the most talented rookie quarterbacks. Can I ask Jason and you a question about college football? Oklahoma and Texas leave Big 12. That was actually only 10 teams, so it leaves 8 middle of the road teams. If you add 4 group that's pretty funny, Mike Porter. Yeah, that zombie episode looks dope. I can't wait for it. Tim just posted the Discord link into the chat as well, and I will promote real quick. We are doing a giveaway at 500 subscribers, so make sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel for more awesome Star Wars content just like this, and also for a chance to win one of 5 Bad Batch Funkos that we're going to be giving away at 500 subscribers. So check out that Discord link that Tim posted into the chat. I'm going to make sure it is pinned. And make sure to vote on the is everything before the original trilogy of prequels as well. Definitely make sure to vote for that. Oh, whoa. Yeah, there you go. So pinned to the chat is Tim's Discord link for my Discord. Make sure you join the Discord for a chance to win one of those Funkos. Much love, guys. Make sure to smash the like button while you're at it too. It helps the channel a lot, and I would greatly appreciate if you did. Tomorrow is the Hasbro Pulse convention for the new figures and sets coming out for anyone that collects new figures. Oh, that's awesome, X-Wing. Definitely make sure to check that out tomorrow. There's apparently going to be a drop from the Hasbro Pulse conference. I think I had heard about that from Star Wars Santa and X-Wing previously, so definitely check that out if you are a collector. New Matrix trailer on Thursday. Yeah. On it, they posted this new link basically where you can click on the blue or red pill, and it is actually a super cool teaser for the movie. Star Wars needs to hire whoever's doing the Matrix stuff, because their promotion team is killing it. It looked sick, and that was my first look at it. Is Le'Veon gonna make a comeback this year with the Ravens? Says Ben Friel. Probably not, but it would be cool. I was a big fan of Le'Veon Bell at the Steelers. No, okay, so Jason Strope, we didn't have a channel, but we had a podcast that was on Spotify, Apple Podcasts. If we do it, I'll definitely make sure to. We'll probably bring it back at some point. We'll see. NCAA is in trouble though. So hyped about that trailer. Yeah, for sure. Alright, guys, we're going to head on out of here in the next minute. I've had a blast today talking about this stuff with you. I'm excited to see what they are going to be doing now that Kenobi is apparently rumored to be done filming for the 5th time, right? And now we can expect, if Kenobi series has actually finished like we thought it would by the end of August, and now that we're entering September, The Mandalorian Season 3 should finally be shooting. Who knows if it actually is yet, but I think it possibly will be at least by midway through this month, if not already. I cannot wait to talk about some of the rumors within that. I cannot wait for Visions coming up within the next 2 weeks. And then, of course, I cannot wait for the Book of Boba Fett this December. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel for more awesome Star Wars content just like this. And if you enjoyed the live stream today, make sure to smash the like button. And again, subscribe for more awesome Star Wars content just like this. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Make sure to join the Discord to have some more conversations, whether you want to talk about football, Star Wars, whatever you guys want to talk about. We got it all going on over there at the Discord. So make sure to check out the Discord in the link in the description and pin to the chat. Before we head out of here, 95% of you guys out of 21 votes say that everything before the original trilogy is a prequel, and I couldn't agree more. Prequels for the win. Much love, y'all. I hope you have a great night, and may the Force be with you always.